ghettos of Babylon where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. By the ghettos of Babylon where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. By the ghettos of Babylon where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. City projects and town where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. Tossing out the whole thing, smoking how everything on. The the system failing, mostly the wealthy gaining. Planting a natural garden, industrial plant polluting. While from the cloud acid rain, destroy and not like building. Love the case of Zion, more than a Jacob dwelling, more than this place we getting, more than them crazy custom, more employment with poor man, needs extra cash for someone. The evil favoritism, he took a wipe out this land. I the ghettos of Babylon where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. I the ghettos of Babylon where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. I the ghettos of Babylon where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. City projects and town where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. Various things are spoken, of the your city chosen. Feel good and time we hear them, but milk and honey flowing. The said holy foundation can be found in the mountains, land of the grass surrounded by waterfalls and fountains. When we remember Zion, we cannot help but smiling. If we the hearing silent, but news alone news flashing. In the midst of the heathen, here they conquering lion. Witnesses testifying, they tell the storytelling. The ghettos of Babylon where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. By the ghettos of Babylon where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. By the ghettos of Babylon where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. City projects and town where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. Wanting Zion, Zion, wanting Zion, wanting Zion, Zion. By the ghettos of Babylon where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. By the ghettos of Babylon where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. Strengthen your mind. We're living in serious times. It's such a mysterious time. We're living in serious times. So strengthen your mind. We're living in serious times. It's such a mysterious time. We're living in serious times. You do not know if your friend or enemy or a friend. Right now things are hectic, so who is serious or playing tricks? Keep a firm meditation, don't stop for nothing foolish. Keep your heart clean and strong, let your God self be established, and strengthen your mind. We're living in serious times, it's such a mysterious time. We're living in serious times. Strengthen your mind. We're living in serious times. It's such a mysterious time. We're living in serious son. Give not all your strength unto the lecherous woman. No to the ways that can destroy a true king man. Cause Delilah's on the prowl and she's a deadly one. So strengthen your mind. We're living in serious times. It's such a mysterious time. We're living in serious times. Strengthen your mind. We're living in serious times. It's such a mysterious time. We're living in serious times. This is surely not the time to backslide. Don't let the wrong thoughts take you for a ride. Temptation pretty and a dazzle in your eyes. Your role in this world you have to realize. Cause it's a you the serpent one brutalize. So strengthen up yourself, you youth and your wife. Bring forth good fruit, you're the future of your life. Bring forth good fruit, you're the future of your life. Oh, strengthen your mind. We're living in serious times. It's such a mysterious time. We're living in serious times. Strengthen your mind. We're living in serious times. It's such a mysterious time. We're living in serious times. Strengthen your mind.
Shalom, shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. I hope that everyone can hear me.
Yes, bro.
All right, great. Well, shalom, shalom, family, and happy Purim as we come together as one family to give praises to our King. Thank the Most High for sparing our lives and also to reflect on both our past and look towards our future. Greetings in the name of our King. And from my family to you all, I say shalom, shalom. To our families worldwide, our brethren to the four corners of the earth, we say shalom to you all. I hope everyone is doing well. And I'm grateful that our King has spared my life, that I can be here together with you, that we can open the Word again and to study and to grow closer to our King and also to each other. So today is a very important time. It's a minor feast or festivity for our nation. And also it's going to continue on for a second day tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a regular Shabbat, but also it's going to be the time of Shushan Purim, or Purim, Shushan Purim, second day of Purim or Purim, however you can twist your lips to pronounce it. Well, so many things is happening in the news, and I also want to remember our brothers and sisters in the Northeast, Boston, New York area. I believe that there's some almost hurricane force winds and storms and snows and flooding and different things like that in your neck of the woods. So I hope everyone is doing well over there, and I pray that our King is protecting you all, keeping you all safe. These are all the signs of the times. We were, for the past, what is it, about a week ago, been about 80 degrees over here, between 78 and 80 degrees over here. Before that, it was an overcast for about 3 weeks of just clouds and clouds and clouds and clouds and darkness and clouds. And we're living in some strange times, Mishpachah, and these are the things that the Bible has spoken about to remind us that our redemption is drawing near. So those of us who serious about getting on the ark, I think you all are probably making your preparations and making sure your family's ready to board the ark, because once the Most High has closed the door, that's it. There's no scratching. Please, please let me in. There's no well, I'm sorry. That's too late for that. That's too late for that. So before we go into our readings for tonight, because we're going to spend time in the book of Esther, and tomorrow we're going to continue, and we'll pick it up in the additions to Esther, the parts that they left out, and we'll continue studying the Word and putting all the pieces together to understand how these things are affecting us today and how everything is going to be remedied in the future. All right, so let's have a word of prayer and ask our Elohim to bless tonight's class. Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu et derech haYeshua b'Mashiach Yahushua. Blessed are you, O Yahuwah, our Elohim, King of the universe, who has given us the way of salvation, Mashiach Yahushua. Abba, I'm grateful to you for your love and your mercy, which truly endures forever. Thanking you for sparing our lives once again, that we can congregate together as one family worldwide, while the time is given to us, we can draw closer to you and grow closer in your word. Father, I pray a blessing upon all of us. Remember those brethren who are afflicted. Remove the burdens from them, the pains, the sufferings. Help us to see the light and not the darkness. I know we are living through these curses that has befallen our people, but I pray, Abba, that you'll make our bed softer, that you'll make the stones even lighter. Remove us from this captivity. Bring us back again to you. We love you, Abba. We thank you. In Yeshua's name we pray. Amen. Hallelujah. I also want to give a special thanks to two brothers who have been trying to keep the fire burning all week. Brother Obadiah and also Brother Doug, who has been helping our brethren to keep the light burning throughout the day. As I know, when we're dealing with the heathen all around us and situations that afflict us, sometimes we need to have additional strength, and we can do so by coming together and have prayer. And so we've been reading from Daniel chapter 9, the prayer that Daniel put forth. And that prayer is very significant because we find that to be consistent with many of the prophets and the priests, all right, to pray in a certain format on the behalf of the nation of Israel. And we definitely need the prayers. We can see that the times are wrapping up. The nations, the things of the times of the nations are coming to an end. As a matter of fact, in the news, South Africa just passed a law restoring the land, the farm rights back to the farmers. Let me see if we can find an article. It's they said that about yeah, here it is. They said that about 72%. 72% of all farms in South Africa were white owned, Mishpachah, Gentile owned. In other words, you have the Dutch and the English, the Boers, that moved into that country. And just to let you all know, many of our people are in South Africa. We have the Lemba, and we also have others who were taken from the west coast of Africa and brought into the southern part of Africa to serve as slaves. When you go into the history, you will see that too. So we find that the Europeans moved in back in the late 1700s to both uh, the Dutch and Belgium, I believe it is, and some of the British, French, and they pretty much drove the people off their lands and took over the best lands and turned those places into farmland and whatnot. So some time ago, they had about 80, I think about 86%.
Credit Union, a community of one.
Excuse me for
putting earnings back into lower rates, greater returns, and for every.
All right. So they passed a law saying that let's see here. It says a 2017 South African government audit found white people owned 72% of the farmland. So they passed a decree saying that, let me close this out. All of the land has to go back to the people, and no one is going to pay a penny to those white South Africans. So we can call this a little reparations, a little taste. In other words, Mishpachah, the times of the Gentiles is definitely coming at an end. It's coming to an end. Okay, and the people, see, 72%, the people are demanding that their own country, that they will have rights in their own country. Imagine that, your own country, and a minority of a certain people, Europeans, just moved right in, took over your land, made trillions of dollars from since the 1700s, and put you in the ghettos, label you as low life, kefa, call you, and whatnot, and force you to become servants to serve them, take care of the little ones, work the farms. Most of our people are in prison. You name it, you name it, you name it. So we're seeing that the nations are definitely coming to an end, and the Bible says the meek will inherit the earth, Mishpachah, the meek. Okay. So prophecy is being fulfilled. The Bible also says that every one of those nations are going to return back to their own lands. The Irish is going to go back to Ireland, the British back to England, and French back to France. Everyone is going to go back to the places that the Most High divided. When he separated the sons, the nations, he put a portion for Israel, and every country had their own inheritance, rightfully so. So it's not for our business to go into to Russia and take over Russia. That's their land, or China, or Japan. That's their country. Every nation have a right to take care of their own business, and it's nothing to do with prejudice. People were placed in certain parts of the world, and the Most High made it so, and rightfully so. Okay, and Israel have the middle portion. So we can see, Mishpachah, times are at hand. Now, today, at sunrise today was Purim, as you all know. And let me pull up the calendar here real quick on our website so everyone can see, just to share something with you. And I'm going to play a video also, and then we're going to go right into our reading for tonight. Okay, on the screen you can see the 12th month of Adar. And Today is March in a Gregorian Roman calendar. It's March the 2nd. And you look outside, you can probably see a full, you probably can see a full moon. And that will let you know that tomorrow will be the Shabbat, okay, on the 15th. Now, uh, it is interesting. Some of you all probably scratching your head saying, well, but Purim ended today. Well, the reason why it looks like it has ended today, and I just want to remind everyone to please mute your line. The reason why it looks like it ended today is because the Jewish people, Ashkenazim,
Reby,
yes,
there seems to be a problem with the screen.
it's a problem with the screen.
My screen just have a bar going down the middle.
Okay.
And some others are just seeing black screen.
All right. Let me do this then real quick. All right. Problem with the screen. Okay. Let me know if it's any better.
Better. There it is.
Okay. Good. All right. Thank you for letting me know. So on the screen here, you can see the month of Adar. Gregorian calendar shows March the 2nd is when it began. And when we read the scriptures, the Tanakh, we will see that the 14th and the 15th was a time that we celebrated Purim. Now, the reason why it appears to have ended today is because the Jewish people, because they keep Saturday as this Shabbat, they said anytime a feast is going to fall on a Saturday, they have to move it one notch ahead so that they can keep the Saturday as a Shabbat and also keep the feast. So you can look that up for yourself. So they move things around accordingly. All right. So if a lot of folks are looking to the Jewish people for direction, you're sadly mistaken because they move things around. The rabbis change things and whatnot, and they're never on point. Okay. Some things they're on point, but most of the other stuff is not on point. We have to look at what the word is saying and not what men or man is saying, so we can have proper direction. Remember that the Most High gave us the sun, moon, and stars. They are for days. Let me go right to it. Genesis chapter 1. Genesis 1 and verses 14. And you're going to see what it says here. It says, verses 14. And Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. Let them be for signs. You see, the first thing is that they are supposed to be for signs, not for light, but for signs. And signs are something that you can physically see. Like we have stop signs that let us know when to go or when to stop or when to slow down and whatnot, for safety, for direction. Let them be for signs and for seasons, for days and years. Let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Listen to this. It says, and Elohim set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide light from the darkness. So the light and the darkness is not one, it's divided. And Elohim saw that it was good. So we can see that the Most High has given us a calendar from the beginning And when you read the book of Esther, we can see that the feast, or the feast of Esther, Purim itself, Purim, is on the 14th and also the 15th. 14th and 15th, not the 12 and 13 or 13 and 14, but a specific time, okay? So let me play this video for you. Now, just to show you, give you an example of the madness. If we have to follow Jewish people, we are going to be totally off in a lot of things. Now, Purim is supposed to be the time when we give gifts, and we're going to read all that and celebrate and things like that. But do you know that Purim right now is a festivity no different from Mardi Gras or the Carnival or Fat Tuesday or what else? What else we have? A parade where the sodomites and people dress up in all forms and fashion. You know, it's supposed to be a time when we rejoice, remembering what our Elohim has done for the southern kingdom of Israel, the southern kingdom, Judah. To remember prophetically, or to remind ourselves what he's going to do for us in the future. It was not supposed to be a time for us to run around in costumes, dressing like homosexuals, dressing like demons and whatnot, playing all kinds of sodomite music and acting the fool. But guess what, Mishpachah? The people who are claiming to be Israelites, they are in the land committing all kinds of abominations before our Elohim. And the Most High said that if we don't do what is right before him, he's going to cast us out of the land. He's going to cast us out because of our sins. As a matter of fact, let's go to Leviticus 26 and let's read a little bit there, and then I'll play the video just to set things up for us to understand what the Torah is saying, because there are people who going around saying that they're Israelites. You ask them what tribe they're from, they don't know. But they claim that they have an unbroken lineage all the way back to Abraham. That they have the scrolls and all the stuff, which, yes, they have a lot of our stuff. They got the monies to control things. They control the banking system. They control the media. They control pretty much everything. Leviticus 26, and let us go down to let's go down. I want to give it jump right to it. Let's go down to verses 21, verses 21. Okay. Let me see. Yep, verses 21. Okay. Read.
And if you walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me,
Mm-hmm.
I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins.
Read.
I will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children, and destroy your cattle, and make you few in number,
Mm-hmm.
and your highways shall be desolate.
Read.
And if you will not be reformed by me by these things, but will walk contrary unto me,
Mm-hmm.
then will I also walk contrary unto you, and will punish you yet 7 times for your sins.
Now, 7 times, that's perfect correction. That's severe punishment. The Most High is not playing around with our behavior. When we act a fool, believe you me, he's keeping an account of everything. He's watching everything, And he's saying, if you're not reformed, when I send these beasts and I punish you for your crimes, if you're not reformed, I'm going to punish you 7 times more. Let's continue on verses 25.
And I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant. And when you are gathered together within your cities, I will send the pestilence among you,
Mm-hmm.
and you shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy. And when I have broken the staff of
Let's
your
let's
bread,
let's skip on down just a little bit. Let's skip on down. Skip on down to verses 30. Let's pick it up from there.
and I will destroy your high places,
Mhm.
and cut down your images, and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you.
Read.
And I will make your cities waste, and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation. And I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors. And I will bring the land into
He
desolation,
will bring the land into desolation. Read.
and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it.
Read.
And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you.
Mm-hmm.
And your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. Then shall the land enjoy his Shabbats, as long as it lieth desolate, and you be in your enemy's land. Even then shall the land rest and enjoy her
All
Shabbats.
right. So we can see that if we don't keep the Most High's commandments, He's going to abhor us. We're going to be a stench in His nostrils. And He says He'll drive us away from the land, and then the land is going to have a break from us. Because I mean, it's bad that you have the heathen doing crimes, but then you have Israelites doing crimes is even worse. Okay, because the heathen will be looking at us and saying, well, if they're doing this bad stuff, we can do. If he doesn't punish them, we can do even more crimes. So the Most High have to correct all this mess. Now the thing is that the people who are in the land right now, claiming to be Israelites, they are not keeping the Most High's commandments. And looking at the video, you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. Now let's skip on just a little bit more to go to verses. Skip on down to verses 40.
If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers,
Mm-hmm.
which with their trespass, which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled,
Mm-hmm.
and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham. Will I remember, and I will remember the land.
Now, does it say anything about, prophetically speaking, about a land deal, a peace treaty, a Balfour agreement? Does it say anything about raising monies and paying off kings and paying off governments to return back? Or does it say you got to be humbled? It says, if their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Yaakov, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham, and I will remember, and I will remember the land. Isn't that correct? It says nothing about breaking the Most High's commandments, paying off a deal, and coming into walking into the land and building skyscrapers and then going back into a degenerate lifestyle. It doesn't say that. See, the Most High is very specific when He said, if you do this, X, Y, and Z, this is what's going to happen to you. Okay? Now, read verses 43.
The land also shall be left of them,
Mm-hmm.
and shall enjoy her Shabbats, while she lieth desolate without them, and they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, even because they despised my
They
judgments,
despised it.
and because their soul abhor my statutes.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly,
Mm-hmm.
and to break my covenant with them. For I am Yah, their Elohim. But
All right, that's all we need. That's all we need. So I want to read one more, and that's going to be in Deuteronomy. Let's go real quick because we got a lot of stuff to read. So let's go to Deuteronomy. Looking for the part where it speaks about when we are in the don't do like the other nations. This Deuteronomy. Mm, let's go. Let's go. Let's go to Deuteronomy 4. Let's go to Deuteronomy 4. Let me see if I want 8. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's go to 7, chapter 7. 7. Deuteronomy chapter 7. Gonna read a little taste of that. Let's read from verses 1.
when Yahweh your Elohim shall bring you into the land whither thou goest to possess it,
Mm-hmm.
and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when Yah your Elohim shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shall you make marriages with them. Your daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Mm-hmm.
For they will turn away your son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Yah be kindled against you, and destroy you suddenly. But thus shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves,
Mm-hmm.
and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people unto Yah your Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
Yahuwah your Elohim have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
All right. That's all we need. Now, our Elohim is letting us know when we come into the land, don't do like those other nations. Don't be like the other nations. Even in the book of Baruch, it says the same thing. Now, I'm not going to go into all those scriptures tonight because we have covered those things before. But what I'm trying to do is to let you know that the Most High is very, very serious about his terms, his conditions. He's the one that is saying, listen, if you don't surrender, you're going to be utterly destroyed. You're going to be driven away from the land. But I'm not going to destroy you completely. I'm going to drive you among the nations, and you're going to serve those other nations. And the land of Israel is going to have a break. But I'm going to remember you all and bring you all back later on. But there's a condition that we have to go through. We have to remember him and return back to his laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay, in order for us to be a nation again. Now, over in Israel, you got some craziness that is happening. Let me pull it up for you. I'm going to play 2 clips. Let me see if this is the one. Okay, this is one. Let me get the other one. Come on. All right. So let me play this video. And it's a real short clip. I want you all to see this is how they celebrate Purim, okay? Here we go. See that? Witches. Let's play another one. Let us play another one. And this one, let's see, let's close this one out. Okay, this one is crazy. Now, this is the one you saw before is with children. Okay, hang on one second. Let's get this right. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm going to play only a certain part of this. Let me see. I'm not going to play the whole thing because there's there's some music, and the music has some swearing later on. So let me just play a part of this. This is Purim, and this is Israel. I'm not sure if this is the one. It's another one. Look how the people are dressed. Sodomite music. Look at the women. You see the women? These guys are dressed as Franciscan monks. This one is dressed as a devil, a demon.
Lock the doors, I'm about to get off.
Sodomite music. Let's turn this down just a little bit. Let me turn it down some more. Look at this madness, Mishpachah. This is supposed to be Israel, the celebration of Purim. And you can see the women are scantily dressed. People are dressed in costumes, like it's a Halloween parade. Look at that. As a matter of fact, let me just back it up a little bit. Take a look at this madness. Right here. This is a guy with a Wonder Woman outfit on. You see this guy over in the far left with the Wonder Woman outfit on? See, he has the little cape or Supergirl or whatever that is. You see how the women are dressed? Mickey Mouses. Look at this. Look at how this girl is dressed. That's Purim. All right, this is enough of this madness. Okay. So I just wanted to share with you all. This is supposed to be a special occasion to celebrate deliverance. Is that correct? How the Most High loved the remnant of Israel, and he preserved Israel while they're in captivity. And then we find these people who are claiming to be us, claiming to be Israelites. And this is the way that they behave themselves in the land of promise. Dressing like it's a Halloween parade or something, playing sodomite music, doing all kinds of madness, and that's just I play the clean stuff because there's other videos that is even worse than this. Now let's go right into the book of Esther, and let us read and understand what this is all about, Mishpachah. The book of Esther. And we're going to read Esther chapter 1. We're going to start at verses 1. Esther 1 and 1. Now, Purim is not something that we find in the book of Leviticus 23 that the Most High said we have to keep, okay? But it was ordained that we remember this occasion just as we do Hanukkah to see how the Most High has acted on the behalf of his loved ones, which is the house of Israel. But there's also something much deeper in this particular reading, in this history, because there's a villain in the story, in the book of Esther, that has a long history, who has always been following us since Jacob and Esau were fighting in their mother's belly. This fight, Mishpachah, is still occurring today. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's still occurring today. A lot of times when we go to church and places of worship, they don't tell you why certain things are happening. They would say, well, you know, the last days, perilous times will come, men will be lovers of themselves, and they will look at all the other things, but they wouldn't tell you specifically how the history, the prophecies that the Most High put in his word from Abraham all the way up is still occurring today to a certain people. The book of Esther is actually a book about the fight between Jacob and Esau. That's what it's all about. That's what it sums up to, okay? Boils down to that. It's a fight between Jacob and Esau. All right? So let's get right to it. Esther chapter 1, and let's start at verses 1.
Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus, this is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 127 provinces. That in those days, when the king Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan, the palace, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him.
Now, keep in mind the places that he ruled over. It says it was from India to where?
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. And Ethiopia is not the Ethiopia that we know today. The Ethiopia that we know today is a small piece. Hang on one second, Mishpachah. We have our sister over in the Emirates trying to get through here. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, so that was our sister over in the Arab country, the UAE, trying to get through, and I think she's going to try for tomorrow to get through because they've been blocking her left and right. She can't use the Zoom. She can't use WhatsApp. She can't use Skype. She can't use none of those things. They're blocking her. So anyway, let's get back to it. So this ruler ruled from India to Ethiopia. Ethiopia is not the place that we know on the map today. Ethiopia was much larger. It was all the way over towards the west side of Africa. It was a huge location. Later on, when different conquerors came in, they started to parcel up the land and rename certain places and whatnot. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because Hebrews, when we go into the story of Esther, the book of Esther, you're going to see this is the place that the Hebrews lived. All right. From India all the way over into different parts of Africa. Our people were living there. We didn't come into those places back in the 1600s. All right. Because you're going to hear a lot of brothers talking about, there are such and such people that are living in India right now, and the Arabs brought them there, and we were living there way before then. Okay, before the Arab slave trade, before all those things, we were living there since the days of the destruction of the first temple in Jerusalem. All right, so let's continue on. What verse?
That's 4.
Verses 4.
When he showed the riches of his glorious kingdom
Uh-huh.
and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 180 days.
Mm-hmm.
And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all people that were present in Shushan, the
Mm-hmm.
palace,
Read.
both unto great and small, 7 days, in the court of the garden of the king's palace, where were white, green, and blue hangings, fastened with cords of fine linen and purple, to silver rings and pillars of marble. The beds were of gold and silver, upon a pavement of red and blue and white and black marble.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave them drink in vessels of gold, the vessels being diverse one from another.
You see how the people lived back then? You see how grandeur the place was, the palace,
Mhm,
golden goblets. Read.
mhm. And royal wine in abundance according to the state of the king.
Mm-hmm.
And the drinking was according to the law. None did compel,
Mm-hmm.
for so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house, that they should do according to every man's pleasure.
Uh-huh. So it wasn't forced on anyone. It was an open feast. You know, if you want to come, you can come. Read.
Also, Vashti the queen made a feast for the women in the royal house which belonged to King Ahasuerus.
Mm-hmm.
On the seventh day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Memuman, Biththa, Habona, Biththa, and Abagtha, Zetha, and Carcas, the 7 chamberlains that
Uh-huh.
served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king,
Read.
to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and the princes her beauty, for she was fair to look on.
So he wanted to show off his beautiful wife. Okay, he wanted to show the world that he's a happy man. He's very successful. This is my palace. This is the banquet. All the good things that I have. So part of that, his prosperity, was his wife. Go ahead.
But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by
Mm-hmm.
his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burnt in him.
Mm-hmm.
Then the king said to the wise men which knew the times, for so was the king's manner towards all that knew law and judgment. And the next unto him was Kashina, Shetha, Admatha, Tarshish, Meres, Marsina, and Memucan,
Mm-hmm.
the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which sat the first in the kingdom.
Now in verses 13 it says, "Men, wise men, which knew the
The
times." What
times.
is that talking about? Now we can look at some people would say, and it is rightfully so, we're talking about people who understand prophetic things to some degree. That can be looked at in that manner. But it wasn't just about that. We're going to see what this pertains to. Okay, it's more along the line of men who the latest. How can I put it? You know, like you have these different generations, and like the Kennedys dressed a certain way, and the influence of President Kennedy's wife. You had a whole generation of women who looked, and her attitudes and whatnot influence, okay, influence the women and influence the place. In other words, people who understand social movements and whatnot, the impact of their lives upon the society and whatnot, the movers, the shakers, and whatnot. So men who understand the times is more along the lines of people who understand how a king and his family can actually change society. Just like you have the Kardashians right now, you got all these different musicians, actors, and whatnot. When they do certain things, the society tends to change in that direction too. Well, let's read on. Let's read on. So these men knew about the movement, and they're going to be advising the king about certain actions. When they saw the king's face had changed, this is what they did. Read.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to the law?
Mm-hmm.
Because she have not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains. And Memucan answered before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen have not done wrong to the king only,
Mm-hmm.
but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus.
Read.
For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women.
So this is almost prophetic. Wise men who knew the times is not just about astrology, astronomy, and such like. These are men who knew about, societal changes, affluence, influence, and things like that. Okay. The deed of this woman shall come abroad unto what?
All women,
Read.
so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes.
Uh-huh.
When it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not.
Read.
Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath.
Mm-hmm.
If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she.
So when we look at government, Mishpachah, we also have to keep in mind that it's not just the Secretary of Treasury, the Secretary of State, and so forth. You also have other people whose job is to deal with historical events. How the White House, for example, or the Queen, for example, how she can affect generations to come. Her life story could actually influence generations to come and change the British society and things like that. Okay, so that's why a lot of times we find the Queen of England has to go out, meet the people, present herself a certain way. When Diana was running around with different men, they had to get her out the way because it made the crown look bad. When certain princes or princesses is doing certain things that is wrong, they would banish them, remove a title from them. They'll do certain things because they understand that if we don't make these adjustments, it'll have an impact on the whole empire. So you have people who would counsel stewards of the crown that will counsel the king or the queen and says, hey, you got to make this move because if you don't do this, history will remember you as such like, and this other country is going to look at you as being weak or X, Y, and Z and whatnot. And then you're going to lose power or it's going to make things bad for your successors. It's going to create a war. I mean, there are a whole bunch of different dynamics that can happen, things that can happen just by wearing the wrong tie, for example, wearing the wrong hat or the wrong pair of shoes or something. There are people who look at the outcomes, okay, and give advice to the king or the queen how things should be. Let's continue on.
Verse 20. And when the king's decree which he shall make shall be published throughout all his empire, for, for it is great.
It is great.
All the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both to great and small.
Mm-hmm.
And the saying pleased the king and the princes. And the king did according to the word of Memucan.
Hang on one second. Is the screen still black? Are we having problems still with the screen? Or
No, mine is fine.
okay. All right. Read it again for me.
And the saying pleased the king
Uh-huh.
and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Memucan.
Read.
For he sent letters into all the king's provinces,
Mm-hmm.
into every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house,
Mm-hmm.
and that it should be published according to the language of every people.
So back in the day, they understood that the importance of keeping order in the kingdom. It's not just the king himself, but if the king messes up, it's gonna trickle down in the society, and then you're gonna have the officers of the court's gonna have problems with their wives. Then you have all the workers, and then you're gonna have a fracturing, the fracturing of society, and then the kingdom is gonna unravel. So so they all understood the significance of the wife presenting herself, or a woman who is obedient in that sense. All right, but let's move on to the next chapter, and let's read on, because then it starts to get pretty interesting. Chapter 2.
After these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus was appeased,
Mm-hmm.
he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her.
Mm-hmm.
Then said the king's servant that ministered unto him, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king.
So what happened? What does it mean by appease? What happened to the king?
His wrath was pacified, like you know,
Yeah, for the moment
remembered.
during the time of the feast,
Mhm. He was angry.
he was embarrassed. Okay, he was embarrassed by his wife, and the guys took advantage of that situation. The first thing is, let's shut it down. Let's make it a law that she has to be banished and so forth. She has to live in exile. And then when everything settled down, the feast, the fanfare is over. Now he comes to his senses, and he's probably thinking, well, what did I do? But then the ministers, the advisors came to him and says, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king. Read on.
And let the king appointed officers in all the provinces of his kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
that they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan the palace, to the house of the women, unto the custody of Hagi, the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women, and let the things for purification be given them.
Read.
And let the maiden which pleased the king be queen instead of Vashti.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing pleased the king, and he did so. Now in Shushan the palace there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjamite,
Mm-hmm.
who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity, which had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah,
Mm-hmm.
whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away.
Let's pause for a moment. Let's examine verses 5. It says, now in Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew. Notice it says Jew. Then it says, whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a who?
A Benjamite.
Benjamite. So now it says he's a Jew, but he's a Benjamite. Okay. This is important because it's making a distinction. It's letting us know when it says the word Jews, it's saying that he was from the kingdom of Judah.
Mhm.
It was not from the northern kingdom of Israel, the 10 tribes up in the north. He was from the southern kingdom of Judah, but he was also a Benjamite. Now, there are people who are running around saying that they're Jews, but you ask them the question, which one of the tribes you're from? They can't tell you. They can't say they're from Judah. They can't say they're from Benjamin. They can't say if they're from Levi or not. They don't know. Okay? So this is a problem. But we can see that this man was a Benjamite from the southern kingdom. Let's continue on. Verse 6.
Who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity and had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away. And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother, and the maid was fair and beautiful, whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So it came to pass when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan the palace to the custody of Hegai, that Esther was brought also unto the king's house to the custody of Hegai, keeper of the women. And the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him. And he speedily gave her her things for purification, with such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens.
So she got what? The spa treatment, and she also had what?
7 maidens.
7 maidens. Imagine that. You see how it works, even prophetically speaking. We can see that even in the captivity, the Most High showed favor unto this young lady, Esther, Hadassah, and she was even to a rank where she had servants serving her and taking care of her and making sure her water was set right, her food was cooked properly, everything was taken care of for her. This is just a glimpse, Mishpachah, of what's going to happen in the kingdom. Whereas we are going to be restored again to, we're going to be serving the king. Okay? Esther's a type of Israel that has to serve the king. We're going to be serving the king, but we also going to have servants serving us. Read on.
Which were meet to be given her
Mm-hmm.
out of the king's house. And he preferred her and her maidens unto the best place of the house of the women.
Read.
Esther had not showed her people nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it.
Mm-hmm.
And Mordecai walked every day before the court of the women's house to know how Esther did and what should become of her.
Why is it that Mordecai didn't want the rest of the Hebrews to see what was happening to Esther? Any ideas? Well, just give me one reason off the top of your head.
Jealousy.
Jealousy. There you go. Thank you. Jealousy. You can give another one, no problem. Okay, but jealousy was one of the main reasons. Because when we understand the mindset of our people, you have this woman that is given all this clothing. She's come upon great opportunity. She has servants and all those different things, favor, whatnot. Mordecai says, we're going to keep this on the low. That is true. You can speak in the mic. It's fine. That's true. But in this case, it was more about the people, more about our people. He says, read verses 9 again.
And the maiden pleased him,
Uh-huh.
and she obtained kindness of him. And he speedily gave her her things for purification, which which such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens
Mm-hmm.
which were meet to be given her out of the king's house. And he preferred her and her maidens unto the best place of the house of the women.
Mm-hmm.
Esther had not showed her people, nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it.
So the things that she got, she deserved it because she was a wise woman. She was kind hearted. She was a very special woman. Okay. And at the same time, they understood the temperature, the environment that they were in. Okay. Now let's continue. Verses 11.
And Mordecai walked every day before the court of the women's house to
Mm-hmm.
know how Esther did and what should become of her.
Now, some people will think he was a peeping Tom. You're hanging out where all the women are, the young maidens are. Maybe you're just a peeping Tom. But no, he was there to look after she was his adopted daughter. Okay, verses 12.
Now, when every maiden's turn was come to go in to King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months, according to the manner of the women, for so were the days of their purification accomplished,
Mm-hmm.
to wit 6 months with oil of myrrh,
6 months in the spa with myrrh,
and 6 months with sweet odors,
and 6 months for perfumes. Read.
and with other things for the purifying of the women.
Now, I don't know what this, I mean, I'm sure there are many things we can glean from that, but just off the top, just imagine it's like a perfume marinade. The women are just bathing in a spa for 12 months. 12 months in perfumes. When you walk through the room, you must smell like a perfume bottle. Is that correct? You must smell exotic. Uh, you don't smell like garlic, crushed garlic. You don't smell like pizza. You don't smell like certain. You smell very royal, regal. All right, because remember, if you pick up the scent of garlic, if you pick up the scent of certain foods, people are going to associate that with the kitchen, and kitchen work is something that servants do basically. But if you're in a palace, you have to smell a certain way. It shows that you're separate from the rest of the people, that you have obtained status amongst the people. All right. Now the Most High was setting everything up, Mishpachah. The women who was supposed to be given the one that's supposed to be chosen for the king had to prepare herself for a certain amount of time. Now, of course, on another side, what I want us to glean from this is also keep in mind Israel in diaspora among the nations have to keep herself like she's in a spa. In other words, bathe ourselves in the righteousness, in the Torah, bathe ourselves in the things that is true, to purify ourselves with the word of the Most High, to ready ourselves so when the king makes that choice, he chooses us, not just for our outward appearance, but also our inward appearance likewise. Yes.
Well, you have to understand there are two feasts. Every 6 months is a feast in Israel. You have feast of Passover and you have the feast of the Tabernacles. Those two feasts, 6 months, 6 months. So it's all about Israel preparing themselves for the King, the
Hallelujah.
Most High. You know what I mean? The
Hmm.
story is about
Spring and the
Israel.
fall feasts.
Yes.
Right.
6 months, 6 months, 6 months.
Let's read verses 13.
Then thus came every maiden unto the king.
Hmm.
Whatsoever she desired was given her to go with her out of the house of the women unto the king's house.
So she has a huge wardrobe to choose, whatever type of dress that she wants and whatever jewelry that she wants. So whatever she wants to present to the king, if she has a poem, however she wants to approach the king, because she has to present herself. Just like in the pageants, you see the ladies will play the piano and sing a song. Some will do whatever it is, and the audience will judge the character, judge the performance, and says, "Well, okay, I like the way she played this. She's a great singer. She's talented. She's smart." She has a proper education. She, all those different things. She's fit to wear the crown. And after the end of the pageant thing, someone is voted in, and one person wears the crown. Okay, so let's continue on verses 14.
In the evening she went, and on the morrow she returned to the second house of the women,
Mm-hmm.
to the custody of Shashgaz, Shashgaz, whatever,
Shashgaz.
Shashgaz,
Uh-huh.
the king's chamberlain, which kept the concubines. She came in unto the king no more, except the king delighted in her, and that she were called by name.
Mm-hmm. Read.
Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go in unto the king, she required nothing but what Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the women, appointed.
So she was a little different. Most of the other women would run out and grab this and that. She turned to this man for advice because this man knew what the king favored. He understood the mindset of the king. He knew the type of women because he's the one overseeing the women, and he knows what, like if this one is a good singer, the king will call her 2 3 times. Maybe her voice, maybe the words that she say, the timing when the king is it's almost like wearing clothes, like if or having food or something. Sometimes you're in the mood for red wine, sometimes you're in the mood for white wine, depending on the circumstance and such like. um so this person, this chamberlain, he knew the mindset of the king, right? He understood what the king desired and so forth. So if you're gonna do something, turn to the guy and says, okay, help me out here. What do you think he likes? Okay, if you do this and do that, do this, because I remember this and that, whatever it is. Put this on. That's the best advisor. He understands the mind of the king.
Well, that's because he favored her from the beginning. There's a reason why he favored her from the beginning, because he already knew what the king was looking for.
Hallelujah. And this should actually give our people a better understanding of having wisdom to understand the times, to understand people, we just can't do things because of our feelings. We need to have wisdom so that we can apply how to operate, how to behave ourselves in this society so we can win favor, right? We don't want to do things because when we go into the editions of Esther, we'll see that while Esther was doing all these things, in her mind, she didn't want to be mixed up with the heathen. She didn't. And she didn't go out bashing the heathen either. Okay. She did what was necessary for the salvation of her people. She wasn't selfish. She didn't have a vain streak in her body. She just learned what she had to do. She learned how to smell right. She learned how to dress right, how to speak right, how to interact with royalty. She learned all these things for 12 months. Okay. She learned. She spent her time learning, not running her mouth, but she sought advice. She listened to advice. Let's continue on.
And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that looked upon her.
Some of them.
All them that looked upon her.
All of them. Read.
So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into the house royal in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign.
Mm-hmm.
And the king loved Esther above all the women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
Read.
Then the king made a great feast unto all the princes and his servants, even Esther's feast.
Mm.
And he made a release to the provinces and gave gifts according to the state of the king.
So he opened up the treasure house and made it a holiday, and everyone is able to relax that day. It's a special celebration. The first feast that he had, ended in you would say a divorce. And this other feast is in marriage. He was excited. He wanted everyone to enjoy this union between him and this wise and attractive woman. Pretty much what's going to happen in the future when the Messiah um, meets with his bride. Okay, let's read verses 19.
And when the virgins were gathered together the second time,
Uh-huh.
when Mordecai sat in the king's gate, Esther had not yet showed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai like as when she was brought up with him.
No, she's a grown woman. I'm gonna do what I feel like doing, and I'm in the king's sight now. You're just a doorkeeper. I don't have to listen to you anymore, Uncle. I'm a grown woman. That's not what happened. See, our women behaved differently back then. We know the times is we're far removed from those times, but this is an opportunity for us to learn how we should conduct ourselves, both the men and also our women. Let's continue on.
In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate,
Mm-hmm.
two of the king's chamberlain, Bigthan and Teresh,
Uh-huh.
of those which kept the door, were wroth and sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus.
So you had two chamberlains who wanted to overthrow the kingdom, wanted to kill, assassinate the king, and Mordecai happened to be there. All right, read on.
And the thing was known to Mordecai,
Mm-hmm.
who told it unto Esther the queen, and Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name.
Mm-hmm. Read.
And when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out.
So when the Secret Service checked out the whole situation, they found out that it was true. It was a plot to assassinate the king. Right? Read.
Therefore they were both hanged on a tree.
They were hanged where?
On a tree.
On a tree. Read.
And it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king.
Hallelujah. Let's continue on.
After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advance
hang
him.
on 1 second. I made a mistake here. Let's go 3. Okay, read it again. Verses 1.
After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
So we didn't hear anything else about Mordecai, right? Mordecai did a wonderful deed. There was no presentation, no rewards, nothing like that. It was just, okay, he saved the king. It was placed in the records, and that was it. Now, all of a sudden, we come into chapter 3, and it speaks about a certain person named, what was his name?
Haman.
Haman. And who was he?
He was an Agagite.
An Agagite. Let's take a look at that for a moment. Agagite. An Agagite. Agagite. It's a term found in the book of Esther, used for Haman. It says, a descendant of Agag, the enemy of Israel, and the king of the Amalekites. Okay. So basically, Haman's lineage is from the Amalekites. Now let's check out the Amalekites. And let's see who the Amalekites are. For those of our brethren who are we're gonna go through it. Let's go to Genesis. Well, let's go to the Amalekites first. Oops. Come on, let's find this. Let's do Amalek because Amalekites is from Amalek. Amalek. Okay. Genesis 36. Let's read verses 12. We'll read from there. 36 and 12. Okay. Say again. All right, let's read verses 12. Well, read from verses 1.
Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom.
This is the generations, the children, the offspring of the people from Esau. Read.
Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan.
So he took some wives from the people of the Canaanites, and obviously the Canaanites' children and whatnot is going to be an enemy of Israel, right? Read on.
Adah, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite
peoples.
And Aholibama, the daughter of Anath, the daughter of Zibeon, the Hivite.
All right, let's skip on down to verses 12. You want to start from 9?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
These are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau; Reuel, the son of Bashemoth, the wife of Esau.
Read.
And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz.
Verses 12.
And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek.
So here we have Amalek. This is the father of the Amalekites. This is the family from Esau where Haman came from, okay? Haman came from. So the battle, and let's go back a little before that, okay? Let's go to Jacob and Esau in the mother's belly. Because we need to understand what's happening here. That this story this story that we're reading is not just some story to read about just to say Genesis 25, just to read for reading sake and stuff like that, Mishpachah. No, it's all about understanding prophecy, prophetical events. All right, if we are supposed to be the Hebrews, and the Bible prophesied that we have an enemy, where's our enemy today? Okay, I mean, the enemy didn't just disappear when we left the land and then all of a sudden, there's no more Esau. He's still around. Okay, if we're still around, believe you me, the enemy is still around too. So we need to understand how the prophecies are being real time happening and why we are catching hell in this society. And every time we turn around, there's some plot against us, just as you see with Haman and whatnot. Okay, Genesis chapter 25. We're going to read from verses 19, okay? 25 and 19. This is about Isaac, Abraham's son. Read.
And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister of Laban the Syrian.
Read.
And Isaac entreated Leah for his wife, because she was barren. And Leah was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her.
Notice it says the children did what?
Struggled.
They struggled together. They didn't say, well, okay, you take this spot of the womb. I'm going to take this spot over here, and we're going to hang out here until this is over. No, they fought for space. They were fighting for territory. Okay? Maybe Esau was wrapping the umbilical cord around Jacob's neck, trying to keep him from getting a little extra nutrition. Who knows? There was a fight in the womb. Okay? Read on.
And the children struggled together within her.
Hmm.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
So she's trying to figure out what's happening in my belly, because the womb is like a world. It's like a prophetic place. There's something happening inside me, and it's been acting out, and I need to know what's happening here. Read.
And she went to inquire of Yah. And Yahuwah said unto her,
Now she went to her doctor, a gynecologist. She went to who?
she inquired of Yahuwah.
Read.
And Yah said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
No, the same people.
2 nations are in thy womb.
You got 2 nations in your room. Read.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from your bowels.
2 different people, and they're going to be separated from your bowels. Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people,
Mm-hmm.
and the elder shall serve the younger.
Mm-hmm.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Let's skip on down to verses 27.
And the boys grew.
Actually, sorry, just continue on. Continue on.
And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
So one came out red, but they made no mention of the complexion of the other one. It's interesting, right? Read on.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
Mm-hmm.
And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
So notice that it says Esau was a man of the field. What did Yeshua say about the field?
The world is the field.
Yeshua says that the what?
The world.
The world is the field.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he say that?
Yeah.
He says the world is the field.
Mm-hmm.
If the world is the field, then the field is the world. In other words, Esau was a worldly man, or a man of the world, but Jacob was a man who dwelt in tents, meaning that he was a man of the Torah. Okay, he learned the Torah. Big difference. One who likes to be inside tabernacles, and the other one who likes to be all over the place, chasing things. He was a hunter. Read. Mm-hmm.
And Isaac loved Esau, but because he did eat of his venison.
Mm-hmm.
But Rebekah loved Jacob, and Jacob sought pottage. And Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
So this is where we have the term Edom. And the reason why we are reading this, let's go to 2nd Ezra 6. We're going to go back to Esther. The reason why we're doing this is because we need to understand what Esther is all about. Esther is about a fight between Jacob and Esau from the very beginning. And the plot, we can see the conspiracy that was occurring behind the scenes. See, Haman, as we read into the story about Haman and what he was trying to do, Haman understood the history of his people, the Edomites. He was still trying to fulfill his role, or the role of Esau, to destroy Jacob. It has always been in the bloodstream of the Edomites, the DNA of them, to fight against Jacob. But if we are in places of Christianity, we'll never understand this thing. Christians don't talk about the prophetical implications of Jacob and Esau. They don't talk about that stuff. They just talk about hallelujah, amen, we're going to go by and so forth. But they're not speaking about where is Esau today, who is Jacob. We're not talking about Jewish. We're talking about the 12 tribes. And the things that was prophesied in the scripture, where is it happening? How is it happening throughout this earth? The Bible also gives us an understanding of how cunning Esau was. Remember, it says Esau was a hunter. He was a cunning hunter. Is that correct? I want to read that again. Esau was a verses 27. Read that again for me.
It says, and the boys grew,
Uh-huh.
and Esau was a cunning hunter.
He was a cunning hunter. That means when it comes to conspiracies, to catch something, to kill something, he was good at that. He was good at devising different things to ensnare a prey. Whatever he sets his mind on, he's going to get it. If he wants to climb Mount Kilimanjaro or Mount Everest or whatever highest mountain, he wants to be there. He's always in a mindset in the conquering mode. He's always conquering. He's always thinking about, well, I'm going to jump off. I'm going to jump off this cliff and daredevil. I'm going to go to the lowest part of the earth. I'm going to build whatever that I have to do. Whatever I set my mind to do, I'm going to do it. Because he's a hunter, he's a conqueror. That's his spirit within him. He looks up at the stars, he says, I got to be there too. He's never satisfied. He wants to always expand and go out further and further. And to be able to achieve those goals, he must devise trickery. I mean, just I don't have to go into all the details, but just look at a certain people who have obtained things, expert in evil, expert in trickery. They say one thing with words and they catch you over here. You do this and they catch you. They always have something to catch you. Now, if you don't know these things, you're not going to understand where you are in the whole scheme or the whole story. And it's important for us to understand this. All right. Where did I tell you to go?
Said to go to the Apocrypha?
Yeah, we're going to go to 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. Let me get it real quick. Before you do that, we're still in Genesis, so let's do this real quick. Let's go to Genesis 27, and let's go to the blessings of Isaac. Now, Esau, when you read I'm sure you all know this anyway. Esau accused Jacob of trickery when it came to the blessings. But remember, when you go back to Genesis chapter 25, Esau was dying of hunger, so he claimed, right? And he properly transferred his title as being the elder over to Jacob. Jacob didn't force him. Jacob said, hey, if you want to eat this food, give me the birthright. And the Bible says that Esau despised his birthright. Okay, he despised it, verses 34. Esau despised his birthright. He looked at it as nothing. This is not important. My life is more important than the birthright. So let's go to Genesis chapter 27. 27. Yeah, we just want to touch on the things that occurred. Let's go to verses. We don't want to read all of it. Just want to touch on a few things. Chapter 27. What verse? Okay, let's pick it up at 27. Okay, no, 26. Read from 26. 27 and 26. Genesis 27, we'll read from verses 26. Okay, so Isaac is getting old. He's half blind. He's about to kick the bucket anytime soon. He wants to square everything away. He wants to set the accounts, the wills, the testaments, everything he wants to put in order before he dies. So now we're at verses 26. Read.
And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son.
Mm-hmm.
And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field,
As the world.
which Yah have blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, Yah give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine.
Mm-hmm.
Let people serve thee.
That people serve thee. Remember, we read that the Most High said to Rebekah that the elder will serve the younger, right? But Isaac is blind. He doesn't know he's blessing Jacob. He's thinking he's blessing Isaac because he favored Isaac over, I'm sorry, he favored Esau over Jacob. Okay, continue on.
Let people serve thee, and
Mm-hmm.
nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee.
Mm-hmm.
Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
Now, this is a very powerful blessing because spiritually, prophetically, it's supposed to continue on even into the kingdom. Okay, the nations will bow down to the seed of Jacob. Read.
Mhm. And it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob,
Mm-hmm.
and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise and eat of his son's venison,
Mm-hmm.
that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou?
Who are you?
He said, I am thy son, thy firstborn,
Uh-huh.
Esau.
Read.
And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who?
Now, if words were just words, there would be no need to tremble, because I just said, "Hey, son, come here. Let me just anoint you and kiss you and bless you, and you're on your way." Like it's just words. No, the things, the spirit, the words that was placed into Isaac was prophetic. It's prophetic. The same way when the Most High said in the book of Genesis to Adam and Eve, Adam, you're going to work the ground with the sweat of your brow. Woman, you're going to bear children with in pain. I mean, has that changed? That's a word, right? Has that changed? Words are very important. It affects all humanity, right? So when Isaac spoke these blessings, it wasn't just words. There were a lot of power behind those words. Okay, read on. So he trembled because like what I gave before was powerful. And if I just let it go like this to the wrong person, then whoa. But read on.
And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and
Mm-hmm.
said, Who?
Who?
Where is he that have taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, and he shall be blessed.
And what? He shall be blessed. Read.
And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father.
You know when a grown man has to, we call bawl out like that, cry out like that, you know that is painful. It says, the Bible makes it very clear, exceeding bitter cry. That's the kind of cry that you feel sad for that person when you hear the way that they're crying out. A desperate cry. Okay, read on.
And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob?
Now, was Isaac there when the arrangement was made between Jacob and Esau with the pottage? No. So Isaac is thinking that this is a crooked thing that is going on, but the Most High's hand was in this thing. We know this from the beginning. Read on.
For he have supplanted me these 2 times. For he took away my birthright, and behold, now he have taken away my blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me?
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father?
All I need is one blessing. Let's see what the blessing is. The one blessing is. Read.
Bless me, even me also, O
Uh-huh.
my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, your dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
Mm-hmm.
And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Notice that the one particular blessing actually fit Esau very well because, after all, he's a hunter, right? And it says, By your sword shall you live. By your sword, not by your intellect, your wisdom. It's by his sword, his power. He's a powerful force to be reckoned with, right? And that's why everywhere that he has gone in the face of the earth, people have been broken by him. Read on.
And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Mm-hmm.
And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
All right, let's stop there. We don't want to lose track from the book of Esther. We want to go back there real quick, but let's go to Genesis 28, and we're going to read verses 13, 28 and 13. Yeah, the blessings for Jacob. Yeah.
And behold, Yahuwah stood above it and said, I am Yah, the Elohim of Abraham, thy father,
Mm-hmm.
and the Elohim of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed.
And to your offspring. Read.
And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west and to the east, and to
Mhm.
the north and to the south.
Mm-hmm.
And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed.
Aren't we in the west, Mishpachah,
And the east and
the east, and so
south.
forth? And don't tell me that the families of the earth is not being blessed with us right now. It's not just speaking about blessed in terms of spiritual side of things and whatnot, but the resources from us as a people. We have been bringing, just recently with the release of that movie, The Black Panther, for example, we made a lot of people wealthy just by seeing the movie itself. Our inventions, contribution in music, contribution in arts and science, and all kinds of different things. We have built these nations to the point where the Queen of Holland rides around in a chariot with pictures depicting how they became wealthy from us. The Arabs themselves. I mean, you name it. All the nations have. If you shake that history tree, just shake it a little bit, you're gonna see a Hebrew is gonna fall out of it from these countries. There's a Hebrew in there. Yes.
Well, the verse says, and thy seed shall be as the dust
Mm-hmm.
of the earth. That word there, it means to grind to powder. To grind you to powder. In other words, you're going to be, beaten and put
Walked
through
on.
all kinds of,
People spit on the dirt.
Like garbage, like debris.
The lowest.
Yeah.
And everyone is going to benefit from the dust because, after all, corn doesn't grow in the sky, it grows in the dust, in the earth.
Yep.
Watermelons, cabbages, everything depends on the earth. We are the soil. Let's let's leave that. And did you say you wanted to read something else? Okay, let's go to Second Ezra 6 and verses 9. So we're going to come back to that. Yeah, we'll come back to that. So we're not done with the Amalekites either. We're going to go to that too. Second Ezra,
6, 8, and 9.
Second Ezra. Let me get it. Where am I? Second Ezra 6.
Mhm.
And let's get it. We're trying to get some more clarity with regards to the history. It's not just reading about Esther and whatnot. It's understanding the place and times, who the people are. Where are those people today? Who are we? You know, what is our role in this prophetic book? 6 and verses
8 and 9.
8 and 9. Okay. Let's read from 7.
Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
So the priest Ezra, who returned from the captivity after Esther had passed on and so forth, came to back to Jerusalem to rebuild it. He was asking questions to the Most High. He wanted to know when will be the last days, and this is the answer. He said unto me,
And he said unto me,
mhm,
from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
mhm.
For Esau is the end of the world,
Esau is the end of the world. Read.
and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth,
Remember, Yeshua said, until the times.
of the Gentiles be
Let's
fulfilled.
just put your finger on that real quick. That's is it Luke 21 or is it Matthew 24? Okay, so that's Luke 21. Remember when the disciples asked Yeshua the same type of question, huh? What is Matthew 24?
Luke 21,
Oh,
24.
Luke 21, 20. Okay, thank you. Remember when the disciples were on a mountain, in the Mount of Olives, and they were asking Yeshua certain questions, and they wanted to know, hey, when is the last days, Mashiach? That's in Luke chapter 21. Let me get it for our brothers and sisters. I'm bouncing around because I want us to be able to connect the dots as we read the Bible to understand they're all connected. This book is not some loose bunch of words. They're all connected. Luke 21, and we'll read verses 7. Sorry, 7. Yes, 7. Read.
And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass?
Now, in Matthew 24, we have the same thing, but it's written out a little bit different. And let me show you real quick. We'll come back to Luke. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing, but it's worded a little bit. It has a little bit more meat on the bone, so it lines up perfectly with Second Ezra's. The way Ezra had phrased his question to the Most High. So it's the same way with the disciples asking. Verses 3, Matthew 24 and 3. We'll come back to Luke.
It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
So the sign of his coming and also the end of the world. That was the question that they asked him. So let's go back to Luke 21. It's the same thing. They're parallel. You can check it out and compare one with the other. But let's go back to Luke 21 and we'll read verses, let's read verses 24. We'll read from there. Luke, I'm sorry, yeah, Luke 21 and 24. Okay.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations.
That's the southern kingdom of Judah being taken by the Romans into all the different countries. And Yeshua also had warned and says, if you're in a housetop, don't come down. If you're in out of the city, don't come back in. Flee to the mountains. Flee here. Flee there. Leave. And of course, when you read history, it says the Israelites fled south into Africa because we have this history among ourselves. Abraham, when it was famine, go to Egypt. David, you name it, just the prophets. So many of our people fled into Africa. Yeshua, when he was a baby, Joseph and Mary took the child, went down to where? Africa. Okay? So we always had this practice. Jeremiah was told by the Most High to tell Israel, if you try to escape the punishments from the Babylonian king, I'm sending him to put you all in chains because y'all not listening. So Israel says, well, if the Most High is going to punish us, we're going to go down to our cousins down, because we had homes and whatnot down in Africa. So they said, we're going to go to Africa and hide out. And the Most High says, if you all think that, and if the Egyptians is going to give you all protection, I'm going to grab your butt and also the Egyptians' butt and put all of y'all in captivity. Okay, so we always have this. We don't run north to the cold. We always run south to the heat. That's just the way we do things, right? So when he said Jerusalem will be destroyed, flee into the mountains, we fled in the same route that we always take, south, okay? Read verses 24 again.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
It's Judah, read.
And shall be led away captive into all nations.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
So Jerusalem will be trodden down by the Gentiles until the Gentiles' time has reached its pinnacle, is fulfilled. The Gentiles has to rule for a period of time, and then their time is going to be ended. As you continue, it talks about the different signs and whatnot that's going to come upon the earth, which means that the time of the Gentiles is over. Okay? So let's go back to 2nd Ezra, chapter 6. So when it says the time of the Gentiles is over, it's the end of their world, their rulership. So Ezra is being told here, Esau is the end of the world. 2nd Ezra 6 and verses 9. You can read.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Read on.
The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand.
So there's a time of rulership with man between, but then the Messiah is going to take over afterwards and pass the kingdom on to Jacob. Jacob's time is soon to come. Okay. Verses did you finish that up?
No, he says, other question, Esther, as thou not.
Okay, so now he says, I'm going to shut it down. There's nothing else to talk about here. We're just going to move on, okay? So what we looked at so far, family, is we're starting to see the little bits and pieces of the scriptures. The prophecy with Isaac, or the Most High speaking to Rebekah, letting her know Jacob, there'll be a struggle between Jacob and Esau, and it continues throughout history. You have Ezra asking a question about the end times, and the Most High gave him the Torah as an example, the prophecy of Esau versus Jacob as an example of the times of the end. The last days. So if that is true, then something has to be happening in our time that shows the same struggle that happened back then happening now. And we can clearly see it. Okay. So now when we go into the book of Esther, but before we do that, let's go to Amalek, the one with David, the Agagite, First Samuel. Okay, so let's go to First Samuel. Let's get this last one. Then we're going to go back into Esther. First Samuel. And it's going to get a little clearer tomorrow as we continue our studies on the subject. First Samuel 15. Let's start at verses 1.
Samuel also said unto Saul, Ye have sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel.
Now, Saul was from what tribe?
Benjamin.
Mordecai was from what tribe?
Benjamin.
Okay. So Saul was from Benjamin, and he was given the responsibility as king over the first king over Israel to fight against a certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Mordecai, who's also from the tribe of Benjamin, has a fight against a certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Saul messed up his job, and because of that, Mordecai had to take care of business later on in the future. Say again? And it continues, the fight continues. Now, let's read.
Mm-hmm. Now, therefore, hearken thou unto the voice of the words of Yahuwah.
Uh-huh.
Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel,
Mm-hmm.
how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt.
So our people were being freed from captivity, and the first people to show up to stop us from being free was Esau, the Edomite family, Amalek, the Amalekites. This is when Moses had his hands raised up like this. You had one of the guys on one side and left side and the right side keeping his hand up, the staff up. And whenever Moses' hand dropped, the Amalekites were winning. And when his hand was up, we were winning. The first people to say, nah, these people need to go back into slavery was Esau. Right? Read.
Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have.
No, make friends with them.
Destroy all that they have.
Marry them.
Destroy all that they have.
Make contracts with them.
Destroy all that they have.
Destroy all that they have. Read.
And spare them not.
Uh-huh.
But slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camels and ass.
Slay every single thing. Read.
And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to a city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, Go depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For you showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites.
They were wise. At least they are more obedient than our people. Our people want to marry them, want to make contracts with them. Read on.
And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou camest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive.
He took Agag, the head of the Amalekites. Read.
And utterly destroy all the people with the edge of the sword.
But
Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep,
the attractive sheep,
and of the oxen and of the fatlings and the lambs and all that was good.
Not the skinnylings, right? The fatlings.
And would not utterly destroy them. But everything that was vile and refused, that they destroyed utterly.
So all the things that don't look attractive. So you had all the women lined up, walk the catwalk. So, okay, this is a nice supermodel. We'll save her. Go ahead. Go on the other side. You don't look so good. Go on the other side. You're gonna be killed. You come over here on this side. So he made, he had enough time to really think about what he was doing. He was warned to destroy these people because these are our adversaries. But instead, Saul made deals. Read.
Then came the word of Yah unto Samuel, saying,
Mm-hmm.
It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he turned back from following me, and have not performed my commandments,
Has done what?
and have not performed my commandments.
That's our problem. We don't want to follow our king. We want to do what we feel like we want to do because everything looks good in our eyes. It was good for food, and therefore she ate of it. Saul, it was good looking, so I saved it. Read.
And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto Yah all night.
Mm.
And when Samuel rose up early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal.
Mm.
And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto Samuel, Blessed be thou of Yah. I have performed the commandments of Yah. And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of sheep in mine ears, and the lowing of oxen which I hear?
He says, I'm not hearing these sheep don't sound familiar to me. They don't sound like Hebrew sheep. Hebrew sheep have a certain ba. This one is a blah. So he's hearing something different. He says, What's going on here? Okay, read on.
And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites.
Did he say
They have brought them from the Amalekites.
You can't blame me, Samuel. It's not my fault. Those guys. Read.
For the people spared the best of the sheep
Mm-hmm.
and of the oxen to do sacrifice unto Yah your Elohim, and the rest we have utterly destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
You see, earlier in the verse, it didn't say the people saved them. It says Saul did.
Saul and the people. It says Saul and the people spared, verses 9. But Saul and the people spared Agag. He's the king of Israel. The Most High spoke directly to the prophet directly to the king, and the king just needs to be the blunt edge to carry out the mission like Joshua did. But instead, Samuel, he and his boys, they got together and they made deals and stuff. Read. What verse are you on?
Yeah, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to do sacrifice unto Yah your Elohim, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. Then Samuel said unto Saul, Stay, and I will tell thee what Yah have said to me this night.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto him, Say on. And Samuel said, When thou was little in thine own sight.
That's talking about us. When we were just a small band of people, Hebrews, read.
Was thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel?
Wasn't we made the head of all the nations, better than all the other nations? Read.
And Yah anointed thee king over Israel.
And the Most High loved us and made us over all these nations.
And Yah sent thee on a journey and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed.
Then the Most High say to Israel, You are small. When you come into the land of Canaan, don't spare these people. Don't marry them. Don't do this. Don't do that. Did we listen? Read on.
Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of Yah?
Did we obey the voice of the Most High? No. Read.
But did fly upon the spoil, and did evil in the sight of Yahuwah.
Mm-hmm.
And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of Yah, and have gone the way which Yah sent me.
So the Most High gave us his commandments. We turn around, we says, well, we already have it. It's called churchianity. And we do the service based on the way that we have things structured because we want to serve you this way. He says, no. I gave you a format and a formula to use to govern yourself, but you're telling me that you join a denomination and that denomination is going to dictate how the service should come to me. No, 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 no. The Most High is not playing around, Mishpachah. Yes, you want to say something?
Yeah, it's not just denomination, but that denomination is headed by the same Amalekites.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's the thing. That's what you see right here. You
Read.
listen.
Let's read on.
And have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites.
Mm-hmm.
He's still making excuses.
He's lying. He's lying.
Yeah.
Read.
But the people took of the spoil sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto Yah your Elohim in Gilgal.
Mm-hmm.
And Samuel said, have the Lord as great delight in burnt offering and sacrifices?
Did the Most High ask for church? Did he ask for church? Did
As
he ask for the things that the people put called denomination? Did he ask us for that? Did he say, please go build churches? When he says, Peter, Kepha, you are a pebble. Upon this rock, meaning the Messiah, who's the rock, you shall build my denominations. Did he say that? You will build my churches, plural. Did he say that? Can't find that. Doesn't say that. We always want to do what we feel the other nations want us to do, rather than what the Most High give us to do. We are not a denomination. We are a people the Most High called unto himself. We're not the people dancing in Jerusalem saying that they're keeping Purim and they're dressed as demons, prostitutes, sodomites, Batman and Robin, a guy dressed like Wonder Woman, all kinds of craziness, playing sodomite music. We don't celebrate like that, right? We're supposed to keep his commandments. Something is wrong, Mishpachah, with the whole picture.
it's the same thing what they're taking all the abominable animals and to offer to the Most High. Why would the Most High want abominable animals to sacrifice to him?
Edomite cows, Edomite sheep to be sacrificed.
Those animals were used in witchcraft and all kinds of abomination. You're going to take the holy and the profane and give it to the Most High.
No.
Basically, that's what they were doing.
We definitely haven't learned too much, because if those people in Israel are not the Hebrews and our behavior is not showing that we're Hebrews, then where are the Hebrews? I guess we're just reading a bunch of fairy tales. There must be a people on this earth fulfilling the role of Jacob and fulfilling the role of Esau. Which side are we on? Let's continue.
And Samuel said, have Yah as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of Yah?
Did he ask you for all this message and congregation and this and that and all kinds of stuff? No, he didn't ask for all that. Keep my commandments. Read.
Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry.
So when we resist his commandments, we are practicing witchcraft. Basically, that's what it is. When you say the commandments is done away with, we're saying we're speaking like witches. Because as far as I see, nature still says that a man should be with a woman, not a man with a man and a woman with a woman, and all this kind of madness. There are clean foods and there are unclean foods. That water should be fresh. That things should be a certain way. That's the commandments that the Most High set in this earth. Let's leave that. I think that's, let's see, where do we want to go? Okay, go ahead and finish read.
Because thou hast rejected the word of Yah, he have also rejected thee from being king.
So when we reject the word of the Most High, we also going to lose our position as Hebrews. Now, it so happened that Let's skip on down to verses 30, 32. This is what the prophet had to do. The prophet who was supposed to be pure and clean to take care of Israel, he had to draw blood. This is what happens when we're put in a situation where somebody got to do the Most High's job. 32.
Then Samuel, bring he hither to me. Then said Samuel,
Uh-huh.
bring he hither to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites.
Read.
And Agag came unto him delicately.
So he came quietly, like really soft, because nervous. He knew something was wrong.
Come flattering.
Read.
And Agag said, surely the bitterness of death is past.
Guys, this is enough bloodshed. Let's just relax and let's make some deals. Let's have a party. The war is over. I surrender.
Let's just love one another.
Yeah, let's let bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
Read.
Forget about y'all was slaves. Come on. Don't harper on those things anymore. That's past.
Yeah, that's in the history books.
That's in the history books. Let's just
Old Testament stuff. We're in the New Testament. It's all about love and kisses and Jesus and all this stuff. Read.
And Samuel said, as thy sword have made women childless.
No, if that was true, if it was all about Jesus and love, you had a guy who killed a whole bunch of people down in the school, right? Did the police show up and shoot him down?
No.
Took him out?
Mm-mm.
No problem.
No.
Took him, arrested him quietly. It was no problem.
They said he's disturbed.
Oh, he's disturbed. But our people,
Mm-hmm.
Snickers bar in one hand. Here's the license. Here's the registration. Here's everything. And by the way, officers, I got my little ones in the car back here. But that's what they do. We didn't come from killing anyone. We didn't come from doing any crimes whatsoever. But just a call saying, well, a person that fits this description did so and so and so. So everybody that drives by, I guess we're all criminals. We don't stand a chance. No, Mishpachah. You see, the war between Jacob and Esau is still alive today. Still alive. Let's continue with the reading.
And Samuel said, as thy sword have made women childless.
What did Samuel say? Your what?
Your sword have made women childless.
What did Isaac say to Esau? By how are you going to live? By your sword you shall live. Read on.
So shall thy mother be childless among women.
Mm-hmm.
And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before Yah in Gilgal.
The prophet chopped this dude up into pieces before the Most High. Where?
In Gilgal. Then Samuel went to Ramah, and Saul went up to his house to Gibeah of Saul.
35.
And Saul came no more to see. And Samuel came no more to see Saul until the day of his death.
See that? Even until when he kicked the bucket. When Samuel never seen Saul. From that point on, that was it. So when they talk about the witch of Endor and whatnot, it wasn't Samuel that was coming up there. Bible says Saul never seen Samuel from that point on. That's it. Okay, so we just looked briefly at the connections with who this Haman's background, where he came from, his family. He came from the same family who the Bible prophesies saying will be a war, a continuing war, okay? Continuing war. And we'll go a little bit more deeper tomorrow, but for right now, let's continue on in the book of Esther, chapter 3. Verses 1. Where did you stop? Let's read verses 1 again.
After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hamadatha the Agagite,
The Agagite. Read.
and advanced him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
Mm-hmm.
And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman,
Mm-hmm.
for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence.
So Mordecai, to him, the history was important. And if it was important for Mordecai to identify who his enemy was, what do you think about us today? Shouldn't we also keep that history alive, knowing who we are, what we need to do, who our enemies are, and whatnot, and be wise in dealing with these situations? Yes.
That just written right here, where Mordecai did not bow down to Haman. It goes right back to the time when Jacob had separated his two families. When he had to bow down before Esau, Benjamin did not bow down to Esau because Benjamin was in the womb.
That's right. Benjamin was not there to bow down
Yeah, he did
to
not bow
Esau.
down to Esau
Mm-hmm.
when Esau came to Jacob. They
It was-
bowed down, but he didn't.
It was the only one that was out,
That was out. Yeah.
and he was the one who had to deal with the Amalekites.
Mhm.
And still to this very day, he's still fighting. All right, let's continue on. Verses.
Then the king's servant which were in the king's gate said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment?
Mm-hmm.
Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew.
So when when the servants asked Mordecai, "What's going on here? How come you're not bowing like the rest of us?" I'm sure that Mordecai explained to him. I'll give him a little history. He says, "Hey, we don't do this because X, Y, and Z. The history between us and them, and whatnot." So they understood that he was coming from that Hebraic perspective. When we're dealing with things, Mishpachah, let us deal with things from our Hebraic origins, not from this American or British or German or French or whatever nationality. That's their stuff. When they're doing their pinch me, I'm Irish thing for St. Patrick's Day, don't be involved in all that nonsense. We got to deal with things from the Hebraic standpoint. All right, we have to do things differently. Let's read on.
And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not,
Mhm.
nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus.
Remember how the story started with one woman who didn't want to do what she was supposed to do, and the wise men says if she don't do this thing, it's going to set a precedence throughout the whole region, all your countries. It's almost like what's this? The Orange King and his wife. Yeah, yeah. Triumphant's wife is going to like right now she's not shaking his hand or holding his hand, right? And it's everywhere. Okay, now he's a player, so don't really matter too much to him. But if that was something significant, can you imagine all the peoples all around? It's like there's a disrespect everywhere. Social media, it starts to trickle down one to the other, right? We find the same story again with the same way that Vashti didn't want to deal with this situation. She refused. We find Mordecai also refused to give the respect onto Haman. So what does Haman want to do? He wants to push some laws to have not just Mordecai removed, but also all the people. We find a little difference with Ahasuerus he didn't have all the girls, he didn't have his wife and all the women removed. He just had that one wife removed and another one take his place. But in the case of Haman, he wanted not only Mordecai removed, but all the people. He was going a little too far. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because he knew who the people were from way back when. And it was all a plot of his to get rid of them by pushing himself along with the king to be his right hand man, to help pass laws to get rid of them. Because he knew who they were.
Absolutely. And that is the key. Now, we find that same spirit back in the days right after slavery. See, when our people were in chattel slavery, didn't have any rights, so-called rights or whatever. We stayed in our lane per se. Right after the Emancipation Proclamation went out, we find it was a shift. The people were debating, well, if these people are free, then the same way with these wise men, if we pass these laws, then these people, these so-called ex-slaves, is going to, they're not going to give us the kind of respect and reverence that we once knew. So we have to do something to them. We have to pass the laws. We have to act real quick. When our people walked in the town, we couldn't be on the sidewalks. If these Gentiles were walking on the sidewalks, we had to leave the sidewalks. We couldn't look at them in their face. We had to bow, take our hats off. We had to do certain things like Mordecai was expected to do. Throughout the history of our people, we find these things following us wherever we go. And people always want to remove us. They always plot to destroy us, always. Everywhere. So things haven't changed at all. The thing that has changed is that we didn't know who we really are as a people. We didn't know that we're the Hebrews. Mordecai knew that he is a Hebrew, right? But because he knew this thing, he stood firm. But our people being brainwashed, we're like in a coma. We don't know that we are Hebrews. Now notice carefully. Ever since a lot of our people have found out, both the male and the female, that we're Israelites, haven't you seen a change in the character? How stronger we have become as a people? How bold we've become? I don't agree with the cursing in the street, but look how bold our brothers have become, our sisters have become. We've become very strong, okay? Stronger than we were when we were blinded by churchianity and all the other things. Because now we have something to live for and to die for too. Let's continue on.
Verse 7. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lot, before Haman, from day to day and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar.
And that's what Purim is, lots. Purim is just simply the plural form of lot. Lots, okay, lot. Pur is one lot, Purim is lots. Read.
And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people.
Is a what?
A certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom.
Now, all the provinces, we read that in chapter 1, verses 1. From India, Hebrews are in India, all the way to where?
Ethiopia.
All the way into Africa, Hebrews. Does it say anything about Russia?
No.
Germany?
Nope.
No.
Europe? No.
Read on.
And their laws are diverse from all people.
It's different from other people, other nations.
Neither keep they the king's laws.
Hmm.
Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them.
It's not worthwhile for the king to allow them to live, because they're just like degenerates. They're lowlifes in society. We don't need them. They don't follow the laws. They're different from other people. Basically, it's us. That's us today. When you shake the historical tree here in these modern times, people don't really want to be us. Remember when it did that little thing with the children, that little, they put the babies and says, well, the little doll experiment, and they asked the little Hebrew sister, put two dolls, one black and one white. Okay, we'll just use that term. I don't like to use that term, but we understand that. Which one is the bad one? The black one. The vanilla and the brown, right? Chocolate and vanilla. Okay, thank you. Chocolate and which one do you prefer? I prefer the vanilla. Why? I don't like the chocolate. What's wrong with the chocolate? It's bad. I don't like the chocolate. Okay, move on. Which one is a good one? The good one? Oh, it's the vanilla. Which one is the bad one? It's the chocolate. Okay. And so nobody wants to deal with the chocolate. But yet the chocolate is the good stuff. You like chocolate? Okay. Shh. Okay. Nobody wants the chocolate. Everybody wants vanilla, 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 vanilla. But isn't it true that Hebrews are lactose intolerant? We don't really deal with too much milk per se. And yet Europe has become rich off of the chocolate. Still to this day, right? Still to this very day. They prefer the angel's food cake, and they say, well, the devil's the dark chocolate cake is the devil's cake, right? The devil. It's called the devil. I'm not lying, brothers and sisters. Hey, I'll pull it up so y'all can see it. Okay. Devil's food cake. Let's see what color that is. You see what color it is? I just typed it in. Google it. Devil's food cake. It's all the chocolate stuff, right? In society, that's what it is. But they love it. Anyway, let's look. Angels. Angel's food cake. Let's see what the angel food cake look like. You see that? So when you look at who prefers who, nobody wants to be us in that sense. They really want to be us because they're jealous to some degree. But look, people with all these curses scattered among these nations, who wants to live in the ghettos? Who would want to exchange their Rolls Royce? I mean, look at some of our men who go out and play sports, get very good on the basketball court. Who do they marry afterwards? Do they return back to the hood, to the ghetto? Yeah, they choose the angel food cake, and it says, I don't want that chocolate cake. We don't want that. Let's read. Let's continue on. A certain people scattered among these people that are different. Verses 9.
Verse 9.
If it please the
If
king.
it please the king,
Uh-huh.
let it be written that they may be destroyed.
So if it please the government, let us set up Planned Parenthood. Let's put out different things. Let's get the scientists on the job to design, because the scientists have been studying them for a long time. So let's get the stuff going to remove these people from society. We call it conspiracies, right? Read on.
Mhm. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasuries.
So we're going to set up these companies that will be financed to do one thing, to take care of to see the destruction of these people. And I can give you, as a matter of fact, let me make a note of that. I got to show you all this. How remember I talked about when we did the class about the Sodomites and Gomorrah, right? We talked about the governments set up, the people who, the occultist people who said we got to push these agendas and whatnot. Well, the same occultists also believe that we are lowlives, the same people. And if they believe this thing, don't you think that they're pushing that to the governments too, giving them instructions to remove us? I'm going to try to find that so I can bring it out. Okay, so let's read on. Let's read on.
Verses 10.
Mm-hmm.
And the king took his ring from his hand
Uh-huh.
and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy.
So the king gave the signet. A signet is the same as a seal. Today we call it signature. Okay, so basically the president will authorize a certain seal with a signature to be given to an authorized person, that anything that is passed, he don't have to be there. He can just tell them, okay, I authorize you, boom, and they can just stamp that thing. So when they gave that ring to Haman, Haman has the power, the authority to stamp that thing in the name of the king, and whatever let's just like Joseph and Pharaoh. Pharaoh gave the signet to Joseph and says, "You're going to represent me throughout the nation of Egypt." Okay, same thing, Mishpachah. So keep in mind. Let's slow down just a little bit. You have monies raised, businesses set up specifically to destroy a people, given to the Edomites. The Edomite is in a certain power, a certain place of authority to monitor the destruction of the true Hebrews, the remnant, right? The book of Revelation speak about the devil was wroth and he went after the remnant of this woman's seed, the dragon,
The red
dragon, the red dragon, the red dragon. Thank you. The red
Edom dragon
was wroth and went after the remnant. It's the same war. It's the same Jacob and Esau. Now, who is in position today, run the media, the banks? Media's business, banks are business, pharmaceutical is business. Who's the one in charge of all those prizes? For example, we have been bamboozled to believe that the white supremacists, for example, is fighting against the Jewish people. Let's slow down just for a moment, right? So we hear about these. Well, the white supremacists don't like Jewish people, but yet we find that the white supremacists are championing who? The Orange King. Okay, they look to the Orange King as their champion, and they said that since he has become the king, they have become more emboldened to do what they're doing. Now, the funny thing about this is that the Orange King's son-in-law is Jewish. The Orange King's ally is Benjamin Netanyahu, Bibi. Isn't that kind of smell kind of funny that you have people who are looking at this guy as being the champion of their cause, white supremacy in the earth who supposedly hate Jewish people, but yet at the same time, he is shaking hands with the people that it makes no sense, Mishpachah. Take a look at this. Let me blow this up so y'all can see it. Take a look at this. And as a matter of fact, take a look at this picture. You see this picture right here? Netanyahu is supposed to be Jewish. Trump's supposed to represent the white supremacists. Something is wrong with this picture. And recently, let me put this up on the screen so you all can see it. Recently in the news, this is the Israeli news, Arutz Sheba, IsraelNationalNews.com, showed something of importance. It says half shekel coin bears profile of Trump. Temple organizations issue half shekel coin showing Trump alongside Cyrus, king of Persia. Why would a Jewish enterprise who wants to rebuild the third temple in Jerusalem, why would they put out a shekel with Cyrus, the king of Persia, and Trump, or the Orange King, who's supposed to be a white supremacist? Does that make any sense at all? You're going to build a temple that represents the rightful rule of Israel, and you're going to put a white supremacist on the coin that's supposed to be brought into the temple. It's like Satan trying to cast out Satan. Anyway, that's another class. Let's just leave that alone. Y'all can check this out on your own, but it makes no sense. That's why we have to be wise and understanding people, because a lot of things is happening, and they want us to believe that there are two separate opposing forces, whereas, Mishpachah, they're all working for the same cause. You can't talk about white supremacy and still doing deals or have in your cabinet and your family's married into the same people that you're supposed to be opposing. That's supposed to be your enemy. It makes no sense. So when we read the book of Esther, and it talks about these businesses and treasuries and whatnot to destroy a people, Mishpachah, Edom has become Hebrews, because actually Esau is really a Hebrew, because he came from who? He came from Abraham, right? Through Isaac, Abraham. But he's not the chosen who has received the promise. He has his kingdom right now, and he has the sword in his grasp, right? He has the treasuries. He controls all the enterprises, and his job is to destroy Israel. Let's continue on. We'll try to wrap it up, and we'll continue on tomorrow. Let's continue verses 11. I want y'all to really think about that.
And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also to do with them as it seemeth good to thee.
Mm-hmm.
Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month.
Now, what color is the shekel? What type of metal is used for the shekel?
Silver.
Silver. Silver, okay? So the king said to Haman, the silver is given to you, Edomite, the people also to do with them as it seems good to you. So power has been given to the Edomites to destroy us. Read.
Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the month of the first month,
The different secretaries. Read.
and there was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants
Lieutenants.
and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people of every province, according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, in the name of King Ahasuerus was it written and sealed with the king's ring. And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces.
UPS, U.S. Postal
Yes.
Service, and FedEx, and all the different organizations. Read.
To destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, up, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month.
So
Which is
before you continue, just pause for a moment. Do you realize that the letter that Haman wrote is identical to the laws
That
that
was
the Most
given.
High said
yes.
to King Saul?
So yeah,
Same thing.
same thing. Kill everything. Yes.
Kill everything.
Mhm.
Man, woman, child,
Child.
beast, everything.
Mhm.
Okay. Same
Yes.
thing.
As they did to them, so they
Now
did to
notice it
them.
says even upon the 13th day. The number 13 is symbolic of what?
Rebellion.
Rebellion. 13 is rebellion. And remember that King Saul did what?
He rebelled
He rebelled,
against the Most
which
High.
is witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
13, witchcraft, rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
Saul, witchcraft, rebellion. Continue on.
Which is the month Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey. The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people,
Mm-hmm.
that they should be that they should be ready against that day.
Now, what this is talking about in real time, in our time today, there is an appointed time to destroy us. You probably have heard all kinds of stuff about Rex, this and that, and all these different programs and whatnot. It hasn't happened yet because there's an appointed time. They're going to try to war against us, but we're not supposed to be scared and fret ourselves and things like that. No, 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 no. We have to remember that everything. Remember what Samuel did. He went to the Most High and asked the Most High certain things, and the Most High gave him instruction what to do.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do this very same thing. Mm-hmm. We have these things written for us to remember how the Most High deliver us time and time again, how we should trust in Him. From the leader down to the little one, should all trust in Him that He's going to take care of us no matter what. He put us in this captivity and He's going to take care of us. The book of Baruch says, don't fret ourselves. Don't even worry about what the nations are doing. Just you raise your family, you live your life, try to be a shalom life. Try not to be too tangled up with these people. I'm going to bring you out. They're going to try to destroy you, just as Pharaoh tried to destroy our people. And then the sea was parted, the fire came down. I mean, all the different wonders happened. The same thing is going to happen again. Mishpachah. Yes. You want to say something?
I was saying that the Most High is the one in control of putting us into Esau's hand. He's the one that's dealing with Esau. So there's nothing for us to worry about, you know. So
let's continue. Let's finish up that
obedient to his word.
read verses 14 and 15 and then we'll stop there.
I read 14.
Read it again. 14 and 15.
A copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day. The post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan the palace. And the king and Haman sat down to drink. But the city, Shushan, was perplexed.
The city Shushan was perplexed. That was where the heat, the real heat was, and it was really tough on our people. Let's go to Psalms 83, and that will be our final reading for tonight. We'll continue on tomorrow. We'll go a little bit deeper into other parts of not just finishing up Esther. We'll also go into the additions, what they took out and hid from us, and we are going to see why they did this thing, Mishpachah. You know, Psalms 82. I'm sorry, 83. Psalms 83.
Keep not thou silent.
Hold on. Let me get it. Sorry. Psalms 83, verses 1. Read.
Keep not thou silence, O Yah. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahuwah.
Read on.
For lo, thine enemies make a turmoil, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
So now David in the spirit is prophesying about certain enemies of the Most High is making an attack. But now he's going to explain how that attack, because the enemies can't attack the Most High. That don't make any sense. That's futile, right? But they you know, like my Ima always say, the enemy can't get to me, so you attack the children. Enemy can't get to me, so you attack the children. So let's see how he's gonna attack the Most High, not directly but indirectly. Read.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
So verses 2, for lo, your enemies make a tumult, and they have that hate you have lifted up their head. How have they done this? They have taken crafty counsel against your people, not the whole world, not against a denomination, against a specific people who live amongst all these nations. Read.
And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Read.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Who cares about a denomination? They come and go. Every so often you see a sign put up, Church of the Christ of the Holiness, the true church of the wilderness. I mean, the titles are so long. They're running out of titles. Some says this is a true, the full gospel. Then down the street is half a gospel. And you keep going down this quarter gospel, and then there's no gospel.
Then there's the church for all people.
Church of all people. Then there's a united church of all people. And there's a church of extraterrestrial people in other worlds. They're making up all kinds of stuff. The Most High don't care about that stuff. He says that the name of Yisrael may what?
Be no more.
In remembrance.
In remembrance.
Why do you think that it doesn't matter if you're Israelite being spoken of in churchianity?
Well, the
Bible is telling us that that is part of the conspiracy.
Yes.
That is part of the crafty counsel. When you go to the pastor and says, you know, I'm a Hebrew, oh, that doesn't matter. Take that out of your mind. That is part of the conspiracy. You could not be anything good. Okay? But the people in Israel dressing up as sodomites, talking about we're keeping Purim and such like, those are the true people. The people in Israel who eat pork, because that's what they eat, you can check it out. I'll pull it up for you so you can see. You want to say something? Go ahead.
No, I was saying by having the denomination and the different names, Israel is no more. You don't see the name of Israel anywhere. All you see is the name of denominations. That's it. So
all you see is what?
So yeah, the name of the denomination, the different, churchianities that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see on the, I've never gone of any of the buildings and see the Hebrew Israelites on the, on, you know what I mean, on the building. You know, Church of the Hebrew Israelites on the building. I
Church of
never
the
see
Hebrew
that.
Israelites.
I've never seen that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's, it's no more in remembrance. So you don't remember that there was ever an Israelite.
Y'all can see this on the screen. Look, there goes the ham. This is in Israel, in Hebrew, right here, in this piece of ham. Okay, pork in Israel. Okay, I'm just showing you if you know, if the people have returned back to the land and they're doing everything according to the commandments, they should have no Kingdom of Pork Factory price here. Look at this. All Hebrew writings. You can call the number 03-687-1891 to get the piece of pork. You see it right here in Hebrew? You see that? So something is definitely wrong. Let's continue on. Psalms 83.
Verse 5.
Psalms 83 verses 5. Uh-huh.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
Mm-hmm.
They are a confederate against thee.
You're what?
Confederate against
They're
thee.
joined together against the Most High. They hate his laws. They hate his prophecies. They hate who he has chosen. So therefore they hate him. Read.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The first on the list that David prophesied was who?
Edom.
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 The second?
And the Ishmaelites.
Those are the same two that never got the promise. Edom didn't get the promise through Esau, and Ishmael didn't get the promise, right? And then Lot's children didn't get anything, which is Moab.
Of Moab and the Hagarenes.
Uh-huh.
Gebal and Ammon and Amalek.
And who?
Amalek.
So they got the Edomites twice in here. You got Edom here, and you got Amalek down here too.
His sons.
Okay. So Mishpachah,
Philistines.
I'm going to stop here. We'll continue tomorrow, but this goes to show that the book of Esther is not some storybook about, well, this beautiful girl did this thing for people and that was it. No. This is a prophecy about the war between Jacob and Esau and the conspiracy that has been happening throughout the ages, even until this day. If you haven't figured that out yet, then something's wrong. But if you can see the glimpses of this thing, all you have to do is go back and start reading, make notes, analyze, look at history, look at prophecy, and you'll see what is happening in this earth. And it's happening to our people. Who's in power? Who's been beneath? Who's the dust of the earth? Who's been scattered to the east, west, north, south, everywhere? The lowest among the people. It's definitely not the Jewish people. Okay, definitely not those people who wish to be us. So with that, we're going to stop. And any comments or any questions, anything you all want to share real quick? And then we're going to say shalom. Elder, stand by. Stand by. Any comments? Yes? No? Okay, let me promote Elder. Okay, if not, we can always pick it up tomorrow. Elder, can you grab the microphone and close up with prayer? Close up with prayer. Okay, Elder.
Yeah.
Are you all set?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, all right.
It's short comments. Really, it's really a blessing. I tell you, teacher, I'm not just saying so for saying, because I can say that. These words are very true, and it is very important. as you continue teaching, the Lord giving you these words to pass on to us. You know, we should not take it just like that. We should really try our best to follow up, you know, to live it up and to continue and to encourage one another, you know, that we do great things in our life. We follow the Lord and we live right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, I believe these are the things, because the time is at hand. We can see, as you mentioned, the Sodomites and all these things are going on, and they confederate to get the people of God out. They're planning, they have their plan, and they're just waiting for when that time comes to try to do it. But God is not going to allow them to do what they want. God is going to do what is right, because God is in control. He allowed them to do certain things, but He will stop them when it is necessary to stop them. Right now, they do, and when it is enough, He's going to stop them. You know, so I want to thank God for the reading, the teacher tonight, and also the reader, and all those that participate. Beloved, let us do our best, you know, to maintain and to live it and to encourage one another. That's all we can do. It is a few of us, and more is coming up. As we continue to follow up and stand up strong, others will follow. You know, but if we just lose out and we get slack, all will fall down. We just have to keep up, beloved, and give the Father all the praise. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elder.
All right. So, by this, I will offer the prayer on behalf of every one of us, and also the sick. Father God, tonight we want to thank you again. We are so glad and happy. You have been such a wonderful Father. There is not a Father like you. Our earthly Father cannot do what you are doing for us. You do everything. You provide for us. Everything that we have, everything that we are doing, you provide it. So we thank you tonight for it. We thank you for your words. We thank you for the food. We thank you for our home. We thank you for our families, our wives, our husbands, our children, the whole house of Israel. Tonight we remember the sick and those that cannot help themselves, and those that are trying and the enemy is trying to knock down, and those that are getting discouraged. We pray, Holy Father, that thou will look upon us and help us, Father. All of us that are trying, help us to stand strong and stand still. And the sick one, we pray, dear God, that may anoint them from the top of their head to the sole of their feet, and do a miracle in the lives of everyone, that they will give you the praise and the glory. Bless the teacher tonight and his family, and Father God, send a special blessing upon them, that this work, Lord, need what it takes, and you are the one that it takes to support it. So therefore, Lord, I ask you to continue, Lord, to help. We need that help, Father, that this work may continue until the end. Give us all a good night rest. And tomorrow, Shabbat, Lord, as the teacher said, it will continue in your name. And victory in your name. Life in your name. We thank you so much. We praise you and we say thanks. And everybody say, Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Shalom, shalom. Laila Tov Mishpachah. We'll continue on tomorrow, Most High willing. Get some rest. Love you all. Stay strong, stay sharp.
Shalom, family.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.